recognize that not every decision actually matters in the cosmic, karmic, divine scheme of things, which may be why there's a lot of times where the right decision may not be so easy to figure out. Because honestly, it doesn't really matter much to God or the universe. Like this university, this job, that job. Like, I can't imagine that the universe really cares that much. The programming is so powerful. Oh my God, what if you don't do this or that? It's important to realize, though, that ultimately we're here in life, not about the choices and decisions that we make in our bodies, in our stories, in our roles, but how we live with those decisions and choices. It's much more about the how and the who than the what. We get lost in the what. Should I do this? Should I do that? This decision. And on some level, yes, it matters. And on some level, it doesn't matter. What matters most is how are you in living with and in blossoming in whatever decision you make. And who is the one making the decisions? Because when we know deeply who we are, then we know what to do. You know, one of the things that has always confounded me is the ease with which all of nature makes decisions. This intelligence that absolutely, unequivocally pervades all of nature. Trees don't make mistakes. You don't end up with an apple seed giving you oranges or giving you roses. You don't end up with, earthworms trying to weave themselves into cocoons to become butterflies. Somehow mistaking, thinking that they were a caterpillar, or caterpillars missing a call to become a butterfly because they thought they were just an earthworm. Somehow, everything in nature knows what to do. Animals just do their thing. A dog might chase a monkey up to the roof of a building, but it's not going to jump off after the monkey. Somehow, everything in nature knows exactly what to do. What is my food? What is not my food? When is my time? Am I nocturnal? Am I dayturnal? That doesn't mean that you cannot kind of ruin your pets. My mom literally managed to give our cats eating disorders. But in general, until and unless they are very domesticated and really under your influence, everything in nature does what it's meant to do. They do what is in best alignment with their physical health and well-being, with the nature of who they are as a rose, as an apple tree, as a dog, as a cat, as a monkey, whatever they are. Humans somehow seem to be the only species that's like, this, that, now, later. And we are clueless. But as a scientist and as a spiritual person, I deeply believe that that same wisdom is available to us. It's inconceivable to me, again, as a scientist and as a deep spiritual believer, that the universe would give a wisdom and an intelligence and a knowledge to seeds, to caterpillars, to animals, and not to humans. I think the difference is that as our brains have evolved and have gotten more and more complex, we've developed this ability to not hear We've developed an ability to get distracted, to get stuck. We've got ego, we've got desire, we've got fear, we've got conditioning, we've got all of that prevents us from hearing. But that's what our spiritual practice is about, is getting back to that truth, kind of peeling back layers of not self to hear the self. So the first piece of decision making is allow yourself to hear that voice. It's there. I mean, you are no less worthy of intelligence and wisdom than a caterpillar. Peel back the voices that are not self. Number 2, recognize that not every decision actually matters in the cosmic, karmic, divine scheme of things, which may be why there's a lot of times where the right decision may not be so easy to figure out. Because honestly, it doesn't really matter much to God or the universe. Like this university, this job, that job. Like, I can't imagine that the universe really cares that much. What matters is, in that university, in that job, in relationship with that person, how are you going to show up in every moment? You want to drop out of school? Okay, drop out of school. What is it? How are you going to show up in every moment? You want to get triple PhDs? Okay, get triple PhDs. How are you going to show up in every moment? So rather than allowing all of your mental energy to be hijacked in the this way or that way, ask yourself a few questions. Here's for me how I make decisions. Number 1, you get very quiet, you meditate. Does an obvious path emerge? And if not, then you ask, okay, which path is the one through which I am most likely to be able to have the greatest impact, positive impact, on the most number of beings on this planet? It might be anonymously. Nobody may ever know that it was me. It may not be something that's glamorous or romantic or highly seen or appreciated. But something that's going to enable me to bring the greatest amount of change to the greatest number of beings today, tomorrow, in the future. What is that path that seems the most in alignment with my values, ethics, priorities, spiritual tenets, my dharma, my beliefs? And if you've asked yourself all of that and it's still not apparent, the last thing I do is I sit in meditation. It's more of a visualization, rather. And you get really quiet and picture yourself 5 years from now, then 20 years from now, having made each of the decisions. And just really try to drop in both internally, how does it feel? Externally, what does it look like? And we don't always know, of course, so sometimes you have to just take a little bit of a creative license. But what does it seem like it would look like if you made each of those decisions? And if you still don't have a clear answer, flip a coin. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Because what it means is you've got this opportunity to make a variety of different decisions, each of which is equally powerful, equally positive, equally in alignment. Bow to the divine for blessing you in such a way. Make a decision and just move forward. Yeah.